Good afternoon, Valley, and welcome to CBS 4 Valley at 5. I'm Faith Woodard. First on 4, scientists continue studying the new COVID variant Omicron. States and cities across the U.S. are taking bold action to slow the spread of the new COVID strain. And amid the concern for COVID, there is also concern for the flu. A new survey shows some of the most vulnerable populations are not protecting themselves by getting a flu shot. Now to new questions about what happened in the hours before last week's deadly shooting at a high school in Oxford, Michigan. James and Jennifer Crumbly, the parents of the accused shooter, are in custody after law enforcement tracked them down in Detroit. They've been charged for allegedly allowing their son Ethan access to the gun. Starting today, the final piece of the Robert E. Lee statue in Richmond, Virginia is coming down. Over the weekend, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam announced the 40-foot tall pedestal that once held the statue would be removed. President Biden pitches his plan to the American people to lower the cost of prescription drugs. The president stresses nearly 1 in 4 Americans struggle to afford their medication. The White House announced earlier that there will be a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Games. Meanwhile, China is reportedly expanding its reach to other countries and space. Some officials and experts say this progress is something to be worried about. Washington correspondent Basil John reports on why this is a point of concern. NASA has chosen 10 new astronaut candidates from a field of more than 12,000 applicants to represent the United States in space. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson introduced the members of the 2021 astronaut class, the first new class in 4 years. CBS 4's Bryce Helms joins us live from our newsroom tonight with more from an economist to explain why these events happen and how much longer we can expect them to stick around. Bryce, for you guys who don't know, me and Jim are Christmas people. Yes. This is our time of the year, so we have to go out there and experience some of this stuff.
You want to have it in the 50s or 60s, not 88 like we've been seeing today.
The U.S. also placing new travel rules into effect for international travelers. U.S.-bound travelers will now need a negative COVID test within 24 hours of their flight. The truck driving industry has been dominated by men for a century, but we're seeing more and more women get behind the wheel, and one social media star is hoping to boost those numbers to change the face of trucking. Meet Clarissa Rankin of North Carolina. She's a wife and mother of 2 and is getting candid on TikTok about being one of few women in the industry. President Biden pitches his plan to the American people to lower the cost of prescription drugs while lawmakers continue to debate this landmark legislation. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports from Washington with the details on this part of the Build Back Better Act. And a lot can be forgotten in 30 years, but today people have been stopping by the scene of a terrible crime and remembering 4 teenagers who were murdered on this day in 1991. Of course, the yogurt shop is long gone, but this plaque is a reminder of the young lives lost.